Good afternoon, friends. Today we're working on the oil pump for the 1966 Shovelhead. It needed to be rebuilt, or gone through, I should say. Not necessarily rebuilt, but it was dirty, and I did want to go through it. So I have pulled this thing down. I've cleaned it all up. I'm not going to paint it. I don't want it to be a highlighted piece that looks brand new. I want it to look used. So I did go ahead and clean it up quite a bit. I'm going to add some parts like that to the bike where they're not going to be perfect, and this is going to be one of them. So by having the oil pump clean, I did scrub it. I cleaned it with brake cleaner, and I have dried it mostly off. I've gotten all the oil and residual parts out of there, got the gaskets off, and got the surfaces cleaned up, so it's ready to be rebuilt. So we're going to start with a couple of things here. I do have a James gasket kit, and one of the things that it comes with, because it's a 1966 through 84, it comes with a myriad of gaskets. So first things first, you have to figure out which gaskets you need. Obviously, these are the outer gaskets. You do not need these because they do not fit your pump. This is wrong for the body, so these are not correct. And there are two different ones. They've got different holes in them. Obviously, there's 3 holes here, 2 holes here, and it depends on what oil pump body you have. This is the correct one. You can see the difference between the two here. These are your outer gaskets. These would go on the outside. So this gasket here actually will overlay like this. So that's how that will go once the outer cover is going in place. Right now we don't need that. Also, with your inner gaskets, it comes with 3 different gaskets. So you have this gasket, and lastly, this gasket. Now if we're matching these up, obviously you can see this one does not match at all. This one does not match at all, but this one does match. And you can tell by aligning all of the holes. I'm trying to get close here so you can see all these holes line up perfectly here. So this is the gasket you're going to work with here. This is the one that actually is the inner that goes between the case and the oil pump. So this is the proper one. We'll set those 2 gaskets aside. Now when it comes to assembly, the body here is completely torn apart. So this thing is ready to be assembled. So first things first, I want to use a little bit of assembly lube on some of these parts. And I'm going to lube up the interior a little bit before I start putting some of the springs in. I don't know how long this is going to sit dry, probably a little while. With the side here, there's a long heavy-duty spring that goes in there. And then there's the cap. And there's actually a fiber washer that goes in between. So we'll go ahead and stick that on. And then we'll thread this in place. Now we'll snug that up. That part's finished. Next, we'll work on the top here. Now, the new gasket kit does come with a ball bearing that's brand new. I'm going to use the ball bearing that came out of it because this one's in really good shape. I don't see any issues with it. I don't feel any blemishes. It cleaned up real nice. It really wasn't that dirty. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drop a little assembly lube down this channel as well. And I will drop my ball bearing into place. And then I will take my spring. We'll put that in the top there. Lastly, there's a cap here. This one has a slot on the top for a slotted screwdriver. We'll go ahead and screw that into place. Now, I'm not sure if there was a gasket there or not. I do have extra gaskets here, and it looks like there may be a brass one that might fit there. But this did not have a gasket to begin with, so I'm going to run it without and hope that that's the right answer. We'll go ahead and snug this up. Now when it comes to gears, there's 2 different sizes. There is a fatter gear and a skinnier gear. These go on specific sides of the pump. Now the inside of the body here that faces the actual case, this takes the skinnier gears. Now there's also 2 types of gears. There's a gear without a key slot and a gear with a key slot. Those key slots are very specific to the shaft. This shaft here it holds these gears in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some assembly lube on the inside here, get my first gear set in. Again, this is the outer, so this is the larger, fatter gear. And then this gear actually slides onto this shaft here. I'll make sure to not get any contaminants in there, get a little dust there. I don't want to get that in the engine. We'll slide this in place. We'll slide that over the little woodruff key. And with those in place, I'm going to put a little more lube in here. I'm going to slide the shaft all the way through. And I can work that gear lube around in the shaft there. You can see it spinning through and kind of squirting out a little bit. That's lubing up those gears. Now from the other side, we'll go ahead and we'll hold that shaft in place. There's a keyed slot here. I do have the keyway. The woodruff key, excuse me. I keep calling this a keyway. The keyway is actually the slot. The woodruff key is the key. Now with that, again, we'll take a little assembly lube. We'll lube up the body here just a little bit. We'll take our non-keyed gear. We'll put that in place first. We'll take our keyed gear and we'll slide that over the woodruff key. And as you can see, our gears are in place on both sides here. We'll go ahead and rotate them just to get the lube around. That will also help hold some things together. From here, we're ready to assemble this onto the motorcycle with the proper gaskets. I do have an outer cover, and this will go on and everything will bolt in place once I have it on the motorcycle. But I'm not quite ready for that yet, so I'm not gonna do that right now. Obviously, it doesn't make sense to put the gasket in place and get this on because I'm not going to put it together just yet, but this is how it'll look. Pretty simple when it comes to putting one of these together. They're a real basic unit as long as you have the right parts. And I have to say that this James kit is super nice because it does come with all the new keys. It does come with the little clip that goes on the end ultimately, and I'll show you that going on the bike when I get to that point. And it has every gasket you'll need for the engine from 1966 to 1984. So it is a vast kit that covers a lot of years. Well, friends, real short one today, but we're getting one step closer to putting this bottom end together. If you like this video, give it a like. If you found it informative, please let me know. Drop some comments in that comment section below. Like I said, I'm starting to really work on this bike and things are starting to trickle in. So I'm going to start doing a lot of these build videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you're going to want to subscribe. Well, friends, that's it for this one. We'll catch you next time.